Okay, guys, we are live. So, for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master today. Today, we are playing session 21 of our ongoing campaign, playing Jeff Talanian's very cool, Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. And with me today are the stars of our campaign, the Reavers of Thule themselves. I'll go in the order I got you guys on the screen here. We are down some players. One has been called away by other duties, and one has been felled by the touch of plague. But with us today, soldiering on, trying to stay alive, and venturing back into the wilds of Thule, we have first up, Arlen.
Hi, I'm Arlen. I'm playing Arter. He's an archer, and he defers to the leadership of our illustrious leader Kane because he's not a high charisma type guy.
That's clearly a vote that was taken while you're absent, Colin.
It's looking that way. This is all news to me.
Excellent. Next up is George.
Oh, hey, I'm George. I'm playing Milo Black, who's a Chimeric Celt warlock, and his mind was blown during our last session by the amount of information we got about this world.
Seriously. This is... I was reflecting on last session afterwards, and I'm like, you don't know... I mean, well, that's not true. You guys are all DMs. You know how long I've been sitting on that stuff waiting for an opportunity to get it in.
Totally.
So
that's great.
Good. And next up, making his triumphant return from vacation, refreshed and ready to face the world, is Colin, a.k.a. Spoik Pit.
Yes, Spoik Pit it is. I will be playing Kane, the Lion. And seemingly there's been a vote of confidence for Kane in my absence. Which kind of makes some sense if I think about it. Since I wasn't playing him, everybody thinks he was better than he is.
Jeez. And last but not least is Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm playing Amar Khalsa Singh, who is a Sikh monk from 18th century Earth.
Nice. Okay, so guys, as we were alluded to in the introductions, last session was a fairly chatty session. We opened up with, I believe, you guys being held hostage by a mysterious group of individuals. And then we had a bunch of other stuff happen. Who wants to give us a quick summary of what the hell happened last session?
Well, I wondered if Will wanted to talk about Amar, because it turns out Amar is the key to the entire campaign.
I wouldn't say Amar is the key per se, but we found out a lot. Gosh, where to start?
That makes me so happy.
Huh? I mean, there was just a lot going on.
Yeah.
Amar was didn't randomly fall into Thule from Earth. He discovered that he was actually the result of a summoning type spell device action by an evil cabal of the Yith, and they are actually in pursuit of him because Amar, I think, was the first successful what would you call it, transposition of an individual from another time and place, and this group is apparently hell-bent on conquering the multiverse throughout space and time. So that was a big revelation to some extent for Amar. So they're definitely pursuing us. A lot of the knowledge was gained from our interactions with the Rangers. They helped explain a lot of this, interrogating Amar and trying to find out who he is and what side of the fence he basically laid upon. And we found ourselves in the confidence of the Rangers, which was a good thing. I think that's something we, as a group, sort of kind of been trying to achieve for a while now, since we knew about the Rangers' existence. Let me think, what else specific?
Well, we did find out a bunch of stuff about the Yith themselves, like the fact that they can send their minds across time and space to take control of people's bodies. We heard about the Warlock Tyrant,
That's it.
aka the Warlock Prince, who we heard about previously, but we didn't put it all together, and that the idea that Thule itself is some kind of waypoint, but it came from another place. And the Deadlands area on the map actually used to be a giant city-state with powerful kingdoms, but it was raised by powerful magic commanded by the Warlock Tyrant.
Let's take a look at here's the map of, or Newt's map. The Deadlands are to the east here.
Yeah. We also, so let's see, we need to find a tomb to get the tools to use against the Yith, the Serpent Folk, and the Flesh Eaters. We also found out the Trout, who was,
I think it's Flesh Shapers.
Flesh Shapers, okay.
Yeah, I've got Flesh Shapers written down.
Okay, yeah. Cool. And that the Trout has the other half of the other set of discs.
Right.
That we have. He's got the other one. But he's out for himself. And he's a powerful sorcerer of some kind. And the fleet that was sent north was done so at his insistence. And then the good news was that that there are other allies out there. So the Mist Hunters, the Frostwood Circle, and the Crusade of the Burning Dawn. To the northwest of Iron Fang is a ruin. And some of this I might not have exactly right, but it was a city of the Masters of Thule, the Flesh Shapers.
Yeah.
And they have taken the ruins as a sort of hive of their own, and the blight may actually emanate from there to drive men away. The other thing that's important to know is that there might be agents of myth among all the rival factions.
Yeah.
So we had to be conscious of that. And then we were told not to lose sight of the Second Sons, who may become tools of the enemy. And then, I wish Carl was here to talk about this part, but Iphigenia decided to go talk to the Necromancers of Ix, which didn't go so well as to be expected. I won't go into all the details of that because I don't have as much of that. But the session ended with this ritual, and we all sort of had different visions of the future. There were sort of visions of terror, and everybody had a different one.
What was your vision?
Mine was that I found myself. Malo was basically discovered he was out by himself. Like he was kind of wandering around, and suddenly all of his companions had disappeared, and he was just shouting into the, his voice echoing around, like as trying to figure out what happened to all of his companions.
And what about Artair? Do you remember what?
Artair's, he was alone in the dark and felt the hot and rotting breath of some great carnivore on the back of his neck.
And what about Amar?
Amar's vision was basically being trapped in a formless void for all eternity.
Yeah, that transition zone that he found himself in when he entered that cave. So, so you didn't miss much, Colin.
No, Kane had a vision that he was laying by a swimming pool drinking tequila sunrise.
That's what's up.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's real scary. I can tell you that.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so where we're picking up is let's pick up back in Tolevorg. So here's one other thing that has happened since. So there was, you guys were going to be setting out for Ironfang Keep I believe in the morning with your the Legion of
Diego Moretta's Legion of Horse.
Horse, right?
Yes.
I cannot read my own handwriting, especially when I'm writing quickly.
Yeah, no one else can either.
No, I know. That's why
Yeah.
it's easy to post stuff. Like, look at this. This is what I think means heavy footman.
Yeah.
Sounds right. Sure.
That's like
I can
Very
Some things look like
federer.
letters.
Yeah, like, jeez, I miss my calling as a doctor. That is a prescription writing script.
right.
Have I ever seen one?
Yep.
So the oh, you learned more. What else did you learn?
Well, we learned that the Temple of Yig, that predates the Rise of Men, is hidden beneath Tolevorg itself. We also learned about another sect of sorcerers, the Thulean Circle.
Yes.
We also let's see. Man, I took too many notes.
yeah, but they're so much better than mine.
Thankfully, Armar had convinced the Rangers that we were on the side of good, which caused them to free us.
Did you talk about
Well, you were aligned against the enemies of men, I think is a more accurate way of putting it.
Yeah. Yes. We found out that a powerful ancient race of men once ruled here, and they have returned now, along with the enemy and the secrets of the fallen race. The will that brought this land here persists beyond death, which is why the dead in this land persists. And the White Death struck us when we first voyaged here. That was no coincidence. Maybe because Amar is wanted by the agents of Yith, or something like that. We're not quite sure. And the Warlock Prince / Warlock Tyrant is the wizard who brought this place here. And he is powerful enough to rival all, which is why we need those things from the tomb. And we also found out that the Warlock Tyrant commanded dragons in his armies, which we have not seen nor heard of, but they could be out there. Those are the kind of main other...
Didn't you see one in a vision? Or did you hear one in a vision?
I think it was...
That Iron Fang Keep.
Oh, yes. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
What's
so...
Which
There was
part
a-
about the key?
The dragon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that was because when it was Malo and I can't remember who the other... I think it was Malo and Reagan. When they went in,
Yeah.
there's that like spectral... what do you
Like
call it?
feast.
Yeah, when them going through the thing that was happening in the main audience chamber. I want to say play, but that's not really what it is. Yeah, the scene that was playing out there. There was
Right.
the sound of that. I don't think you saw anything, but there was.
I don't think we
sound.
saw it. I thought we heard. Yeah, we heard something.
Yeah.
And the one other thing was that Prince Kowea, who was QOWEE', is one of the Warlock Tyrant's princelings. So he's the one whose name was on the set of discs that we have.
Yeah.
And so now that kind of connected them together.
Right, and you found out. You remember when you guys were in the spider cave, Colin?
Yep.
You found out that there was they were actually on there was a purpose there. Apparently, the tomb of that princeling was apparently located there.
And so we decided that, well, we realized we had to go there and talking with the Rangers. So we had to go back there.
Oh,
But-
back there.
We do have to go back there. But so we were going to go to Iron Fang Keep and kind of try to establish our presence there.
Garrison.
Yeah, exactly. And then from there, we would venture back towards the tomb. And thankfully, we have our map still. So
Do we know why there's all that sort of like melted kind of architecture and that? How that's been formed? Because it's like an unnatural.
nothing that we were told specifically.
In
No,
in
right.
Tolevorg, you mean, or
No, in that spider's cave, when we went in there, it was
Yep.
unnatural. It seemed like it was some sort of sorcery or something had gone on to form, you know, and I wondered if...
Well, and it was in like a huge depression that we had a sense was caused by not like a natural rift in the earth, but a sorceress something. So
there was lots of smoothed out stuff, wasn't there? And you know, because we had to walk across all that slippery.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and it could have been, you know, there's various powerful magics were in play in the time period when that may have been created. So it could be any of these entities that were.
Well, also, I mean, you can. This is Kev just speculating, not Kev feeding information. But I mean, picture the level of power needed to shift a continent the size of Canada into an alternate plane. You know, I imagine that there may be some degree of a lack of finesse that comes with that. So even the slightest miscalculation would likely, you know, wreck catastrophic changes on the land itself.
And there's quite a lot of factions in play now here. I'm finding out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, we haven't even met some of them. Some of them we just know the names of.
That's true.
Yeah.
I love role-playing games. All right,
we did gain some reputation with the Rangers, just so you know.
Yeah, you can go ahead on your character sheet. You can put down that you've got a renown of 1 with the Borean Rangers.
Okay, cool.
There we go. If you're curious on the spelling, I could hold up my handwriting, but you know.
Yeah, don't bother.
Boots on the ring. What? So the and each of you guys now, because you have the you are, you know, a contact of the Borean Rangers, you guys can feel free. They will give you a little clasp that looks the same. You don't get the, you know, kick-ass cloaks that Malo and Amar are currently rocking, but you will have a clasp that will mark you as one of the Rangers.
Cool.
Whether you choose to wear that openly or not is up to you.
What do they do? Do they wear the clasp?
They wear it openly, yeah, but it's often because of like it's on these old cloaks or whatnot. The clasp isn't like it's not like a sigil or something like that. It's something very subtle. It looks functional, and just if you look at it closely, that's where you can recognize the markings on it as being similar to other things.
Cool. I'm gonna do the same then.
Yeah,
we've got some reputation with the big boss man, haven't we?
The House of Thurmond.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes. Yeah, you guys made yourselves known to them. I don't know if you guys do.
Because of that single combat.
No, we have. So what I wrote down is renown 1 with the House of Thurmond and reputation 1 with Rangvold the Trout for our stuff. Not as much as because the other Tolevorg Tales group did a job for him, so I think they have more those characters.
Okay.
Yeah, the
and
other
then
one did.
everybody other than Artair has connections with the Wimic, and Artair just has to, you know.
Well, he was a captive of them, so
I know, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
He's not as friendly with the cat people.
Yeah. There was something else that I was gonna mention as well that I've completely lost now. We were just talking about the Rangers. What else were we talking about?
About the little brooch thing or whatever it was.
Yes, yeah. So you got that marking. I don't remember. Oh, I know. It's current events. So what you have found is, it turns out that today may not be the best day to. You're gonna have one extra day in Tolevorg because there's actually a pretty big riot that kicked off near the end of yesterday while you guys were finishing up your time with the Rangers and finishing your preparations. You found that late in the afternoon there was this massive riot down by the docks. You may recall that there's been some tension between the Ixians and the House of Thurmond in the last couple of weeks, thanks to that wrecked ship. Yeah, the ship came back. It hit the other one. It sank. There was recently another delegation from the from Ix itself that showed up, trying to kind of pressure things. Apparently, that reached a boiling point, and there was a riot that kicked off. So there's some talk right now about the, whether there's someone to blame from this. I think the rumors in the Dragon's Rest are likely that, like, beyond the obvious, there's been tension between the Rangers, the Necromancers of Ix and the House of Thurmond. There's also, as is often the case in cities, the stevedores, kind of guild, and the people working down by the docks can be, historically have connections to crime. Smuggling is not the oldest profession, but certainly as soon as you started having people who could keep people out of places, you had people trying to get shit in that wasn't supposed to be there. Well, there's two different rival thieves guilds that are active in Tolevorg. One of them is just simply called the Guild, and they are an import from the mainland in Hyperborea. The other is the Black Lotus Tong from Lemuria. And there has been, you guys would know this just because from, asking around, there's been, because, different parts of town, are under the sway of different organizations. In the last, since Tolevorg was founded, it's been the Guild that's been controlling the docks. And what the sort of scuttlebutt is that this riot was actually, it was part of a power play, Everything in Tolevorg is a matter of a relationship that works because it benefits the House of Thurmond. And if it no longer benefits the House of Thurmond to have the Guild running shit at the docks and keeping a lid on things, the House may revisit that. So, as a result of that, the gates are closed. They're sort of like the Watch is making a show of what do you call it? Of kind of rounding up the yeah. What they're really doing is let's see here. Who would know this? Who do you think amongst you guys would have probably his ear closest to the ground as far as what do you call it? Criminal shit would go.
I think that would be me.
That'd be Archer. I thought as much, but didn't want to speak for you. Okay, so
No.
What you've heard is, this may be, you can expect in the coming days, there's going to be quite a bit of bloodletting between the Guild and the Black Lotus Tong as they sort out whatever sort of reworking of the power structure is going to go on. So, yeah, once the gates open again, you're going to want to GTFO unless you want to get caught up in what might be a guild, a fight between the rival thieves guilds. Now, Colin, you missed the last session, so you didn't have an opportunity to do any of your last kind of stuff in Tolevorg before you depart with your mercenaries. Is there anything else that you wanted to get done in town, or any other scenes you wanted to play out before you guys try and leave?
No, I don't think so. I think I was all set. We rounded up the mercenaries. We're gearing up, ready to go. Just sort of basking in the glory of giving that fool, showing him who's the boss in town now.
Yep.
Perhaps a little bit of partying and just relaxing before getting back on the trail.
Okay.
Making sure I'm well hydrated.
Yeah. So you guys certainly find yourself in a very different circumstance than what you, or a different position than what you were. You arrived here, bedraggled, travelers. You are now leaving at the head of a small army.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Okay. So, and as a reminder for you, you have two. What do you call it? Two new hires as well too. Amaguk and Yalmar.
Right.
Let me.
So Amaguk is the Inuit guy, yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It feels like we've been reactive for the first year of the campaign.
Yeah.
And now we're being proactive.
That's what happens when you level up.
That's right.
Hell yeah. That's right. Yes, Amari.
Yeah, year 5, right?
Oh yeah, I got all kinds of cool stuff going on.
Oh, that's awesome.
'Cause
Nice.
I think now my hands are basically magic weapons.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that's pretty
Love
metal.
it. Yep.
Okay, guys, I'm just gonna give you all control over Amagog, and the picture is someone who is. It's more. I think it's more of a like East Coast First Nations group, but there's a real dearth of badass fantasy, Inuit characters to draw from. So
Yeah.
my apologies for kind of treating an entire continent of people as one culture.
Mm-hmm.
But there you go. So that's a pretty badass picture for
Oh, that's
Amagog.
cool.
That is a
Yep.
badass picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then let me give one for Yalmar. What do you remember about Yalmar?
I
I'll
remember
use it.
Emagook liked to say, "You pay me, you can do whatever you want." And
Yes.
Ymir and Hjalmar is a priest of Ymir who likes
Yep.
to eat.
Yes, he does. Because who doesn't like chubby Vikings?
Both of them are a little bit off.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of got to be a little bit off to survive in Tolevorg.
Oh yeah, it's not a complaint. It's actually
It's not a bug, it's a
a
feature.
good thing. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, sorry, guys. I just had. There we go. I got a picture for Yalmar as well too. Now, what I'll ask you guys to do: who's feeling lucky and wants to roll hit points for these guys?
Not it.
I'll roll it once. Sure.
Okay, so give me 2 seconds here. Let me get the
Yeah.
thing. So you'll roll for one of them. You can pick which
Okay.
of the two you want to do.
I'll do Amagook.
Okay. And then who wants to do Yalmar? Now this illustration is a little young for Yalmar, but it's a really badass. And as with the others, it's tough finding like badass different body types other than bodybuilders. So,
Yeah.
or rail thin guys. So here we go, guys. Boom! There's Yalmar. All right.
Cool.
So, Amaguk, and I'll put him, both of them, in with the Reavers of Thule here, for as long as they survive.
Yeah, just put them in the temporary section.
Okay, and I'm going to steal an idea from, for first level, from, what do you call it? Low Fantasy Gaming, because I dig the way they do hit points in that. Now, Yalmar is a cleric, which means give me a 1d4 plus 4 roll for his hit points, please. Whoever's rolling for Yalmar.
Yeah, who's rolling for
They're
Yalmar?
all 1d4 plus 4.
Yes, please. And
That is a 6.
nice. Okay, so he's got 6 hit points. If you could please add that in onto his character sheet. And then for Amaguk, he is a hunter. So would you kindly roll 1d5 plus 5, and then we'll add 1 to that, assuming his constitution is high enough to add a plus 1.
Should I make it a +6 then?
Yes, you can do that. Yeah, that would be the easier way.
Yes, it would.
8 hit
1d5
points. Oh,
plus
okay.
1.
Nice. Okay, so he's got
So
8 hit
I'm
points
putting-
then.
Okay.
All right. So, anything left you guys want to do before we head out? And your eyes don't deceive you. I'm reaching for a book, Colin.
Oh,
It wasn't wasted on me. I thought, oh no, it's an orange spine book.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay,
No
so
good will come of this.
let's see. Would someone kindly give me a percentile roll, please?
I'll let somebody else do that.
Yeah, Colin or Will.
I'll do the percentile. Let me get my buttons. 1D. There you go.
Nice. Okay. All right. So, the day is otherwise, so your extra day that you have to spend in there is otherwise uneventful. So it's really just kind of, hanging out at the Dragon's Rest, enjoying your drinks and hoping to get off, and get out early before anything kicks off. Early in the morning, fortunately, nothing does happen. At least not that you are directly exposed to. So we will cut forward to the following morning. Guys, anything left you want to do before you leave behind the safety, or the relative safety, I should say, of Tolevorg, the back alleys and dangerous streets of Tolevorg, to head back out into the wild?
I just want to take one last good look at it in case I never get back here.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I'm happy to be leaving. Back roaming. That suits me.
Excellent. Okay, so then, how about, and Arter and Amara, take from your silence, there's nothing further you want to do?
No, I'm good.
Just refill the water skins, get some fresh rations for the first week, and some iron rations for after.
Yep. Okay, so how much, you guys, I can't remember who is going to be the, you're at the point now where the Reavers could use a, what do you call it? It's not a quartermaster.
Quartermaster?
Yeah. I think there's a French word for it that I was going to go for.
Oh.
But that is much...
What is this from your knowledge of the Voyageurs or something like that?
Yes!
Rack up some beaver pelts, man. And
yeah, that is my. What's funny? I'm reading I got Clockwork and Chivalry recently, and I've been reading it a lot. And I'm like, it would have been good to have grown up around this history, because my knowledge of like the Red River Rebellion and the Voyageurs does me very little good in my role playing experience. You trade for 6 beaver pelts. All right. So then, oh god, now I want to do a Kevin Crawford style game about that.
I was just totally thinking about like a Mountain Man RPG.
Yeah.
Bust out my Foundry miniatures. I've got all these mountain.
Awesome. Oh, jeez. You could run a really badass Cthulhu campaign based on that, set around the Northwest Mounted Police, using down darker trails. It's ready-made for, what do you call it? A mix of, like, outlaw kind of smuggling stuff with the, what the fuck is it Ithaqua? Is the spirit of, yeah. My brain is full of useless shit.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
We're on the same club.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here, guys. We are setting off. So this is gonna be a very different experience, traveling with quite so many soldiers. Who was the quartermaster anyway? Or is the voyageur, as they call it?
Did we decide? Did we buy all that food for like months and months of provisions and all that? Or
we did.
Yeah.
Mala spent it took like a couple of days, 3 days. We had 3 days to organize the provisions. So we spent, looks like we spent 1,278 GP on provisions for 6 months.
So the I just situated you guys here. I'm not sure how zoomed in you are on the map, but so you do have a way that you have tracked out, or you've sort of uncovered to get there, to get to Iron Fang Keep. But there's also a more direct route that would lead you through a bunch of unknown terrain too. So I guess the question is do you try and take the direct route to Iron Fang Keep, or do you go the way that you know?
Right. I mean, I guess we should have done this before we left. We should have asked the Borean Rangers if they had any information about the surrounding area around Tolevorg, but we didn't.
So another consideration is people in Tolevorg have been kind of funny about the Wimmick. We may not want to take this whole army into the center of Blackclaw lands.
Yeah, I just looked at that. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Good point. Yep, I'm down with that.
I don't know why they'd feel weird about, like, half lion, half people things, but for some reason.
So strange. I'm all for exploring too, to understand what surrounds this keep that we're about to, ideally take over.
Yep.
So
ideally.
Who knows?
Looking at that map, I would go personally, I would go southwest and 1 hex, and then go west twice, then strike out into the blackness there.
Okay.
So
Sounds
like,
good to me.
so we drop a hex, southwest, and then just go due west straight all the way, maybe.
Yeah. That sounds
So go
good.
through. I'm gonna draw the arrow and then delete it, but kind of like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it went behind the blackness, so
Yeah,
that
but
didn't even help.
Took your meaning though. I think it was heading the right direction.
It got the gist of things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I can't do that stuff, otherwise I'd have drawn a purple line too.
It's
All right.
It's pretty cool what you can do with Roll20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty fucking cool program. Let's see here. It's which, sorry?
I just can't work it yet. That's all.
No. Okay, let's see here. The cheats for Hero in particular. Actually, and we were talking before we went live about Shadow the Demon Lord. Shadow the Demon Lord has some of the best character sheets for Roll20 as well, too. They're really, really amazing. Anyway, now, okay, so then if you guys are ready to set off, I guess that is what we are doing next then. Which means...
Yeah.
Uh-oh. That's
finally, we get...
Yeah.
Nice.
I've missed you. I've missed you so much. All right.
I'll leave now before I starve to death.
That's right.
Okay. Now, do you take any precautions? Let's do a quick head count here and see who you're traveling with. So, the Legion of the Horse has 71 men and women in it.
Yeah.
You also have Yalmar and Amaguk with you.
Mm-hmm.
And you hired there was 2 other henchmen that you hired as well, right? Did you hire a blacksmith or not? I can't remember.
So what we hired was a like castle steward, right? And I think I don't remember. Did we hire a blacksmith? I definitely remember we talked about hiring, buying a wagon and hiring
A teamster.
a stabler for horses or a hostler or whatever you call
A
someone that manages
teamster.
horses. A teamster. Well,
Yeah.
a teamster and because the teamster drives the wagon and then somebody to take care of horses too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did investigate all those things. We also looked at pack handlers, porters. We decided not to get an engineer yet. So
No,
definitely.
yeah, we were gonna go there, weren't we? And then get established, and then bring out another team.
Yes, but we did say we needed a blacksmith.
Yeah.
To keep everything
Okay.
up. So, and that was 30 GP a month. And we did talk about the wagons and the teamster, and he was only 8 GP a month.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm assuming you guys are paying for that stuff. So
Yeah,
we'll include those in the numbers.
Yeah, I've got all the numbers right now.
Okay. So then with the Reavers themselves, I believe that brings your total to 81 people that are traveling.
Jeez.
That sounds right.
And I think every day we need to be speaking with our hunter man. What's his name again?
Amaguk?
Amaguk. Yeah, consult with Amaguk for his impressions of the weather, and if he's seen any tracks of anything that might pose a threat to the group, stuff like that. So we're definitely going to be making sure he's earning his pay on this wilderness leg of the journey.
Yeah, and you also benefit from his greater or lesser chance of getting lost too, which will be helpful, I imagine. Let me
Yeah,
just
we're
grab one thing.
definitely.
Run away.
I was going to suggest we might want to put together like a sort of lead party. Amaguk and 1 or 2 of us, and then I'll have the rest of the Reavers be kind of in with the main group, so that we have sort of a group scouting the way.
Okay.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Who do you
That's a good
want in
idea.
that group? in the point kind of the points group or squad or whatever.
So Arter's going to volunteer for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll volunteer with that. I've got no problem with that.
Yeah, Mala would do that too.
Okay. So I think because of the size of the group as well, too, you guys are going to be moving. You were moving at 2 hexes per day. You're going to be down to 1 by virtue of the artillery, wagon and whatever else.
Mm-hmm.
So let's. Okay. So Amaguk is going to be in the. What do you want to call the Vanguard?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's incidentally that is another white whale of mine is the Star Trek Vanguard as a campaign. This reminds me of Vanguard. Okay, so in the Amaguk is going to be in there, and I'm sorry guys, who are the other in the Vanguard? Is it all our PCs here?
I was fixing to say, I guess if everybody else is going, I'll go too.
Yeah, we can have Iphigenia and Reagan be sort of in charge at camp.
Yep.
Yeah, good
Nice.
idea, because I think that makes sense.
Watching the mercenaries is the new watching the horses.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay. So let's see here, guys. I'm going to make use of... in my pile of books that I use for running the campaign, Low Fantasy Gaming has definitely taken a place of pride with that now, too, because it's got... Even if you're not using the system, it has some really cool...
Random tables.
Yeah, really good stuff in it. Yeah. And it's got a simplified weather thing for shifting weather that I like better than or at least it is more, it is easier
User
to use.
friendly.
Yeah, than Ultimate Wilderness or the one from, what do you call it, Wilderness Survival.
Well, I downloaded the Low Fantasy game in free PDF over a year ago, more or less when it first came out. I don't know if that was a year or more ago. And I was impressed with all the random tables in there.
It's a really, really great game, yeah. Like, even if you don't... It's like Crawford... I mean, it's not in the same kind of, like, thing, but it's a different animal. I know
what you mean.
Yeah, it's like Crawford's products, right? Kevin Crawford's products are... You can use them for any game, fantasy game or whatnot. This is great that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of good system neutral generation stuff.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and the setting book, the Midland setting book, I think it's the setting book that's got all them ideas for... they're like adventure seeds kind of thing. They're like story hooks and... There's like loads in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like 100 or something like that. Loads, just loads.
He's also, to be honest, like one of the nicest... Jeff Talanian, the creator of Ash, is also a super nice guy too, but Steve... Gosh, I always screw up his last name.
Like that.
Grodzicki, yeah. He's super fucking nice guy, you know.
Yeah, I got that vibe straight away, because when I downloaded the thing I was reading, I thought, some of this makes real sense. And I noticed there was like a little email on there, and this was, like I say, a good while back, and I fired an email over to him saying, oh, yeah, man, this is cool. And more or less straight away got an email back from him, and we found, conversed for a little while. It's
That's
cool.
Yeah.
And he's active in the community as well. You see him popping up and stuff. I would like that. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. It's clearly a labor of love.
Exactly. Yeah. You can see they're committed to their thing, and they're into the hobby and that. When you get something that just gets thrown out there and you never sort of hear from the person again, I don't like that so much.
No. It's he what's it called? He's even on he joined the Discord, our Discord server to help out with the thing, and he gave pointers when I made the pre-gens for that session I ran of it.
That's cool.
As well too, which was he did not have to do at all, which was super helpful.
It's super cool when you're a podcaster as well and you're looking to talk about stuff. It helps if you can actually like the people that you're talking about.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, it's like there's a couple of games I'm playing now that I like, and I emailed the publisher and I just got blanked. So instantly I'm like, well, I'm not so much interested about talking about that, because you can't be bothered to speak to me or even just reply, even saying, we're busy, we get a lot of this or that or whatever. But just a reply, man. I'm not going to waste my time chatting about someone's product when they can't even be courteous.
No, and you know, there's a difference, I think, between some you can tell when it's people who are genuinely enthusiastic about the product and whatever else too, and when it goes into market speech, you know. And everyone, and this is I think probably true of the entire OSR, at least everyone I've encountered. Everyone is genuinely a fan. These are all passion products, passion projects that became actual products afterwards, which is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
All right, enough shining praise on things. Let's kill some PCs. I mean, let's see what dangers await in the wilds of Thule. Gosh. So we. Oh. Uh-oh, someone's excited. Look out!
Yep, he can't wait.
All right. So, guys, what we're going to do is we're set up. Let's see what the weather is like today. It is springtime. It's clear and sunny. That's a bunch of bullshit.
It's not, man. That's not right.
Well, so there is going to be shifting things over time, though. So, or shifting weather. So, you guys set out with you guys on the Vanguard. Are there any other specific precautions that you guys have taken to address some of the threats that you guys have come across? Like, for instance, the that Red Death, or the spread of that Red Plague that you've encountered so many times in your journey here. As you can, I think who has experience as a soldier? I think Arter does. He's been a mercenary, and Malo, you did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, one of the fastest ways to deplete your numbers is for plague to wipe through a mercenary camp. Are there any specific instructions or specific precautions you've taken to account for those wandering spore things that you guys have encountered?
I think we give orders that they're not to be engaged, that they're to be attacked, with missile fire, and taken down that way.
Okay.
And never to be approached after the fact. Just let them lie wherever they die. And I forget how many. We have a number of archers.
Yes.
Which I can't remember how many. Let me see.
Yeah, and I think the way we want to do that is we'll have at the beginning of the journey, before we even leave Tolevorg, we'll have a proper address of everyone. We'll get together, discuss these points that we want to get across, and then Kane will stand up and explain it to everyone. But we will also have a briefing with the sort of whatever the kind of squad leader level guys are, like the sort of corporals or sergeants of the mercenary company, and proper give them a little bit more of a detailed explanation of this plague, not wanting to cause fear in the ranks. But
I think they'll probably know, because like when you guys had a ride, you had heard that Jernheim had the mining town to the north that had been quarantined apparently on account of this plague as well too, right? So it is something they're aware of. It's a threat that they know about. And
but we will be thorough in our communication of our message. That'll be a hallmark of this organisation.
Sure.
A clear chain of command and good communication.
Yeah, absolutely.
My door is always open.
My tent flap. My tent flap is always open to you. That may be taken the wrong way.
I was fixing to say, once again, that really doesn't sound that.
So, first day of the caravan setting out. You guys head out. Let's make the... I need oversized versions of every dice just to for dramatic flourish.
Nothing to do with getting old. Not at all. Nothing to do with eyesight or anything like that.
We went out for dinner for my son's birthday on Tuesday, and I realized I'm such a fucking homebody. I don't drive at night very often.
Oh no, it's bad. It's getting bad for me, man.
Oh yeah, it's real
super glary.
I'm like, man, I can barely. I'm having a real hard time seeing this stuff, and my son is like, it's because you're old. Right.
Tell me what it really is, son. Don't hold back.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, don't sugarcoat it, boy.
Not at all. Yeah. He's clearly taking levels in Thief, because that was a backstab for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting lost. All right, so the first day that you guys set out is back, and let's familiarize ourselves with that, you know, the ever lovely view of Thule.
Oh no.
Because we are back, guys, with the miles and miles of endless tundra. You can picture...
Back in Loch Ness.
Yeah. It is. It does look like Loch Ness.
Culloden or something.
It's which?
Culloden, is it, or somewhere like that?
Culloden, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Inverness is at the one end of it. That's where we came out of. And yeah, you've got these sprawling, you know, endless tracts of tundra spreading out before you. You can picture a caravan of horsemen and yeah, because it's mostly, geez, the Legion of the Horse is 29 mounted soldiers of varying kinds, 40 heavy footmen, and then the 2 artillery cannons as well, or 2, not cannons, but 2 artillery artillerists, I guess. What happens is, and you guys are in the vanguard. So what I'd first like everyone to do is to kindly give me a D6 roll. Okay. Oh, wrong book. Okay, interesting. Okay. And I need 1 D6 roll for Amaguk as well, please.
There you go.
Hey.
Interesting. All right, so...
The first interesting was bad. I think the
Right.
interesting was good.
I'm with you. With you.
Because Kev's old school, man.
I mean, yeah, it's like my Hodor.
Right.
All right. Yeah. I need these here. For first time in quite some time, I actually fell asleep reading one of my
nice.
favorite AD&D books last night.
Well,
Okay. Okay. All right, so you guys are at the vanguard. Now, I think what I'll do is we will use... For encounters, for when we do have encounters, I am gonna say that there's a 40, or there's a, what do you call it? A 4 in 66% chance it's the Vanguard, because you guys are actually keeping an eye out for that, and I'll leave the rest for the, what do you call it? For the actual main force. Okay.
Well, that's the van, isn't it? Basically, the van is the main force, isn't it? The
van.
The van.
I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. The main force is called the van, and the vanguard is the...
Oh, is that what it's called? Oh, cool. I didn't know.
That's right.
Yeah. Look at that, learning stuff. Okay.
We could also, so in Renaissance times, it was traditional to call the first wave the Forlorn Hope, but that seems a little morbid to call us that.
Yeah, that's when you
But-
pile in, isn't it? Like if you're launching an assault, yeah, the Forlorn Hope is the one that rushes into a breach or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that sounds like
Pile
what
up their
happens.
bodies to make a ram.
Right.
Okay. So
I see that in our future.
I also have some happy news for you guys because I finally actually did what I said I was going to do, and I picked up some new maps for this.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Nice.
when I ran, wrong thing. When I ran Low Fantasy Gaming in Thule, I actually picked up some new maps that were appropriate to this setting. So I actually have some different looking tundra maps now.
I think it's quite a good idea that when you've got such an investment in one setting, just to run different systems in the same setting. I think that's a sensible strategy, man.
It's it's also it's easier. It's what it is also like for hopefully for the viewers as well. It gives them an opportunity to see other bits, other developments. In the same setting. So
yeah.
At least that's sort of, and also for you guys too. I mean, it makes it it gives it a bit of a verisimilitude. And
the riot between the Thieves Guilds is from the LFG session with Sean and Jeff, right?
That's right. Yep.
Oh, right. So you're actually doing it like that. So it's actually happening as well. Same kind of. Oh, okay.
Yeah. When we what do you call it? When we have our Shadow of the Demon Lord session, it is also going to take place in Thule, and the events in that will also what do you call it? They'll also relate to what's actually going on in the in our regular campaign.
Yeah, we do a similar thing in our face-to-face game where we've got a couple of DMs, myself and my buddy. When we run in the Forgotten Realms, we kind of share this setting.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
that's very interesting.
It's a great. I mean, I think it makes for fun. And again, like I credit Hobbs for that, because it was watching one of his what do you call it, Kamada games, where the party came across like the remnants of another party, and I'm like, oh, that is so fucking cool. It gives it such a great lived-in feel. Also, I need to kill more parties so I can have people come across them.
So you can have that.
Warning.
Okay, let me quickly, for those listening at home, forgive me for fussing around with these maps so much. These guys have suffered through 20 sessions of the same goddamn Tundra map, so I want to give them an opportunity.
What session are we on?
We'll just amuse you with side chat about gaming.
Yeah.
Is this session 21?
Home campaign.
This is session 21, yeah.
21.
Session 20 was the big reveal, or the big info dump session.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, I'm going to make this a little
So
better.
if anybody listening is interested in Tunnel Goons, if you like really, really savage combat, Tunnel Goons, woohoo! Yeah.
Tunnel Goons.
Tunnel Goons, yeah. Nate Treem's design.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I've been running that, having a lot of fun with that super simple RPG. But it's like, it's got a bit of a death spiral thing going on,
Nice.
especially for the monsters.
Yeah.
And I quite like it. Combat's just so fatal.
Well, you know what, guys? While I'm fussing around this, it's worth noting that if you enjoy the dulcet sounds of our voices as we're bullshitting about games, two of our stalwart players have terrific podcasts dedicated to that very subject.
So does our DM.
Mine is very sporadically, it's very sporadically updated, so it's not as consistent. You guys have a much more consistent output than what your friendly neighborhood DM does. So, but yeah, you can. Arlen's Live from Pelham's Wasteland is available on all fine podcast platforms, as is Colin's Spike Pit podcast too. Really interesting, and a wide variety of not only game specific but gaming in general approach and theory stuff on both of those podcasts too. So if you are interested in finding more about that, you can find those on your fine platforms everywhere. George and Will, of course, have much better things to do with their time than what we do.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm too lazy. That's what it is.
I am
I would
not.
love to do a podcast.
Let's see here.
My
Okay,
wife
so
is doing a podcast though, so
who's doing a podcast?
my wife.
Oh, interesting.
It's about to release it. It's all about. Nobody cares about this, but it's about IVF.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So she's interviewed all kinds of doctors, and we've dealt with it, and
That
other
is
friends,
really interesting.
other people. Yeah. So I'll let you know when that goes.
Well, it is, yeah. And you know what? The thing, like, I think that everyone around our age, Arlen, this is likely not something you're going to be dealing with for a couple of years, but everyone around our age knows at least someone who's had to go through that IVF process, right?
Yeah,
because it's fucking expensive, and it's hard to know what to do and what's right and what's reasonable expectations and shit like that. So
yeah, it's all about that, all those things, and also funding too.
Yeah, and I imagine it can be like super up and down, sort of disappointing.
Oh
and-
yeah.
Roller coaster for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother.
Yeah,
and I
I'm
went through
I'm
it.
hoping to avoid anything like that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
See,
would
and
be-
You're good for now. Yeah.
the running joke, because my son was a high school surprise. The running joke was always like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is easy.
Yeah, totally.
I fulfilled
I
my
thought-
evolutionary purpose without even
I was
trying.
like, I worked too hard making sure I didn't get people pregnant.
You would be the wiser one, I think. Okay, so clearly that's what people signing up for Thule have been interested in hearing about is my high school love life. So now, transitioning back to our heroes here. So guys, you guys are in the Vanguard. Here's the first thing that happens, though, before we transition to another scene. And I wish I had a picture of my desk right now. I cannot tell you how happy I am with about 6 books sitting open to different pages, all lying here. I'm so happy. So well, it's been been a day or so since we've really done anything beyond just role playing in Thule, right? So
That's true.
pretty cool. So here's the first thing, and let's someone give me a D4 roll. Oh, actually, hold on, no, scratch that. Who do you think Amaguk is reporting to? Is it Kane as the lion, as the?
Oh yeah.
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 Okay. So Kane, you're march. You know, you're walking along. You guys are. How far ahead do you think the Vanguard is? You think maybe, I don't know, like half a mile? You can still see back and easily see.
Well, I will refer to Amaguk for his advice on how far ahead we should be. He's
Sure.
the man. He's the man of the region. He's the hunter. He knows this shit better than us.
So let's say that's around the distance you guys are, and I think you guys are on foot still, right? You're not riding horses.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens is you guys, you're walking along, and Amaguk walks up to you, and Amaguk again is a fairly laconic, maybe like early 30s Inuit man. He's got that kind of like wispy mustache and beard that the Inuit grow, and he comes up to you, Kane, and he, I think quite bluntly, just says, "Followed. We are being followed."
Okay. Right. How many?
1.
1.
He's trying not to be seen, but I see.
And what or who do you think it is?
I can sneak up on him, or her.
Who've we got with some stealth here? We've got Amar's pretty stealthy.
Yeah.
Amaguk as well too is probably quite
Yeah.
stealthy.
Well, Amaguk's yeah, straight away. I mean, he's seen the tail. Amar.
So that's a good opportunity to quickly just revisit what we're doing for house rules for stealth. So because everyone in has some understanding of how not to be seen, right? Everybody can have an opportunity to try and sneak, and then if you are not a rogue, the person who might see you, they get a chance to try and see you. The rogues, however, and any of the classes that have the sneak stuff, you make a skill check. If you make a skill check, then the person trying to spot you does not get a chance to do that. So it makes it a little more, it's not just a rolling like, oh, failed stealth, you're seen, It gives you a chance to do the badass, sneaky shit that your class is supposed to be good at.
Right.
So what I'm thinking is to peel off a couple of guys. If we try and peel off too many, it's going to be super obvious. So I'm wondering, my initial feeling is straight away to react quickly, send Amaguk and Amar to the rear to investigate. But at the same time, I don't know, Arter, I don't know if you're a good fit for the mission or not, or whether the rest of us just stay at the front. So
I think my
it.
suggestion is like you say, peel off Amar and Amaguk, and then the rest of us kind of continue as normal to set the trap.
Okay.
I'll just glance at Marlowe for his approval on that one then.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. So, Amaguk is a first level. You can assume he's got the dexterity of 16 or higher. So he will have a hide of a 6 out of 12. So basically 50% chance. You can roll whatever kind of dice you want, 50% chance of success. And Amar, you go ahead and make your hide check, please.
All right.
Ooh, that ain't good. You do have 2 points of Astonishing Fortune, though, because of the intro. Both George and Will, you guys did a great job of helping
cool.
flesh out what was going on. So each of you start with 2 points of Astonishing Fortune.
Yeah, I'm going to spend one so I can re-roll it.
Okay, go ahead.
There we go.
There you go. Okay, and so it looks like both of you guys. So you and Amaguk peel off from the group and disappear in the in the surrounding tundra. I'm going to make a check here. Okay. So it takes you about maybe like half an hour, 40 minutes or so to circle around and then make your way. You can see off on the right as you guys are making your way around the sort of line or the train, I guess, of the main force of the Reavers of Thule. And when you wind your way around to the back, sure enough, actually, you know what I need you to do? No, I think Amaguk will be able to spot them. So you find, sure enough, there is a lone rider who has been following behind. And what you can see is Amaguk points it out to you, Amar, and you can see there's a guy who has basically like his horse. He's got it down so it's kneeled down, or so he's hobbled it, I guess. So it goes down, and doesn't have that like clear silhouette of a guy and a horse. Mm-hmm. But he definitely seems to be keeping an eye on your what do you call it, on the main group itself. How do you see this approach going? Amaguk will defer to you.
So let's see. So the rest of the party's behind us.
Yep. So you can see heading to the west is the rest of the main group of the Reavers. The Vanguard is well, half mile in front. And this thing seems to
we're still kind of in a tundra type area.
Yep, totally.
I was trying to think if there's like rocks or something that we could kind of lay down behind.
Oh, hold on. Wait, let's see here. No, it is tundra around Thule. Yeah, I'm just looking at the map.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. Well, wait a minute. I was thinking we could cover ourselves with snow, but
there fortunately is no snow right now. It's sunny, and the spring has, it's still getting into later spring. So
I'm trying to think if I want to stand, if we want to come in at this guy together from the sides, front and back. I'm trying to think. I think kind of what I want to do is I want to have Amaguk kind of keep going in that circling around.
Yep.
And kind of circle around behind this guy.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and find some sort of semi-cover something.
Okay.
To kind of stay semi-hidden in this area.
Okay.
Waiting for him to get closer.
Okay. So you're going to position yourself in the direction, like basically between the guy observing this and the... Okay. Yeah, no
that's
problem.
Basically what I'm doing.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good. So you managed to get yourself down behind kind of like a little bit of a bit of rock or something that's there, and you're waiting. You can see the dust of the actual army itself making its way, or the band, I guess, making its way westward. This happens. Give me a D12 roll, please.
Oh, that's easy.
Let's see what time of day. 5. So it's actually it's about noon then for when this happens. So the sun is right high in the sky, and you're waiting, and what you hear is the sort of clip clop of the horse approaching you. riding across the tundra. It seems as if this thing is waiting. Whoever this what do you call it? There's this bird dog. That's the word. Who's tracking you guys? He seems to be waiting for the caravan to make a far enough way forward before it tries to catch up and then continue observing. If you're looking, I mean, you're no expert in tracking, but I mean, this is a very easy path to follow. 80 men tromping along in a big group like this leaves a pretty easy, easily following or easily followed trail.
Right.
What distance do you want to be? Like, do you have an idea in mind of when you want to, what you want to do? This guy is on horseback, so you may have because of your monk training, you may be able to keep pace with this guy, but it's unlikely that Amaguk would be able to keep up with this guy once he starts even, just cantering along.
I think what I'm really trying to think of is I think Amar's just gonna basically stop him, kind of a surprise thing.
Okay, yeah.
And then Amaguk is back there kind of in the behind, won't be focused on. So this guy's gonna focus on me.
Okay.
So if he's threatening, then by the time something happens, Amaguk will be up here and he can help.
Okay. What I'll do then, I'm going to use I'm going to use the encounter distance for grasslands from DMG. Second edition. That'll be the distance that Amaguk is behind him when you guys encounter. So let's see here. That is 12, 20, 31. So it's 310 feet behind you when you kind of jump out. So he's positioned himself well enough to try and intervene in that way. So let's go over to our new map. Now look at this shiny new map, guys. Once again, we have Gabriel Pickard to thank for this wonderful looking new map. Pretty awesome. So let's see here. I'll move most of our Reavers aside here. We'll put good old Amar hiding right around here. And this is all. There are Tundra ones too, and I can't remember if I purchased that one or not. But I need to get that as well.
I'm feeling tense now in case I've sent Amar to his demise.
When has going it alone?
I'm feeling the weight of responsibility, man.
If he is the head.
It's been years since I've had to suffer this agony.
Let's give Amaguk his hit points bar here. Boom. Oh, eight hit points. I'm sure that's going to be enough, guys.
Oh, yeah. Not a problem.
Okay, so there's Amaguk. There's Amar. All right, now the distance. I'm going to put Amar actually a little further down here. Because it's... Boy, Amaguk is pretty far away here.
That's all right.
Okay. All right, so, and then the mounted... character here is actually, I'm not going to make bother putting a horse in here, but I do have, okay, I do have a pretty good selection of Vikings recently loaded in here.
There's a chord on this music that's playing on Roll20 that catches my ear every time, and it sounds just like Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
This.
Totally.
It's this big old chord that comes in.
Yeah.
I can see our Michael Crawford there with his...
Right.
Oh, jeez. Look at this. Colin, there's hidden depths here. We had no idea you were a culture vulture.
Oh, mate. That's my art school roots.
Nice.
Okay, we'll use this as the dude here. So, from you, are you sort of like going to be jumping out like 30 feet away, 40 feet away kind of thing, or what?
Let's see. Horse. I'd probably say when he gets about 50 foot away from me.
50 feet away, okay. So let's put
That's
him...
probably a safe distance. And then Amar's going to step out.
Okay, so yeah, it's about 35. Okay, I'll put him back there. So he's just coming down that rise there. I'm gonna make him a little bigger. Not because he's he's been enlarged, just for this to reflect the size of the horse.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you get in a little closer, why don't you give me a give me a D6 roll again, please. See how much you can make out from this guy before you hop out. Okay. So yeah, so what you can tell, because your wisdom's quite high, isn't it?
Yeah, I think saves. I gotta go look at it. I'm trying to remember which one's highest.
I think your dex is probably highest. I think that's probably
that's the 18. So it's a 16 wisdom.
Okay, yeah. So you what you can see is that from the barding on the horse and the kind of like the saddle and whatever else too. This is all very Thulean or not Thulean, Hyperborean in design, in the sense of like from Hyperborea. This is this is something from the mainland as well. The guy appears to be of mixed blood and is dressed like your typical Hyperborean adventurer. He doesn't have the distinctive Norse look that the House of Thule, Thule House of Thurmond has, or a lot of the Norsemen that you've seen wandering around Tolevorg. He's got the tawny brown hair and the kind of ruddy complexion of someone who likely lives a harsh life as well too. You would guess this is a mercenary of some kind. Mm-hmm. So then what happens as you jump out and intervene in this guy? What do you say?
I think he's just going to step out and ho, traveler.
Okay, let me make a roll for surprise for him. He's not surprised. So what I mean is the horse is not going to rear up. So you go out and kind of pulls the horse to the side. Oh man, we are out in the Thulean Wastes again, which means Colin gets to start thinking that he's got a window open again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you step out, and he kind of whoa, and he looks down at you, and the guy, grabs his sword and draws it, and he looks, and he sees you, and he's looking back and forth as if trying to see if there's bandits of some kind. Mm-hmm. He says, He said, what business do you have? Jumping out on travelers like this.
My business is yours. Where do you head?
Where I head is my business. Strange looking. And he's looking down, and studying you. And give me another D6 roll. I want to see if.
Sure.
Yeah. So we're doing a lot of. Okay.
4.
This guy has the look on his face of recognition. You've been here long enough, Amar, that you've expected when people meet you for the first time, there's not a lot of other people who look like you in Thule or in Hyperborea for that matter. There's not really a lot of South Asians in the thing. So when people meet you, there's usually a fairly unusual reaction. The turban, the long beard, the kind of like rich brown skin it looks very different from the other ethnicities that are found in Thule or in Hyperborea in general. This guy doesn't have that reaction. Mm-hmm. So he says, "My business. What business have you have waylaying travelers out in the wilds like this?" This guy's way more well-spoken than what he should be.
Okay.
So let's just say that your DM is doing a poor job of communicating. He is not a cultured individual. What are you doing out here?
You seem to be following my group.
Who's following what group? What do you mean? And he's looking around.
Surely.
Would you give me another D20 or whoever wants to roll for Amaguk?
Oh, yeah, somebody roll for him.
Please. Sure, I'll do it. What do you want to roll? A D20?
D12, please. D12.
D12.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy's looking around, trying to spot, and see where, if anyone else is going to ambush him in the middle of the tundra. What do you say?
I point back over my shoulder and I'm like, surely you can see that as well as I. That is what you are following.
I don't know. I saw there was a caravan, and I thought that whatever trouble may come on this route would be deterred by them. That's all. Easier to travel in the wake of a great caravan than to travel on your own. Cheaper than hiring guards, isn't it?
Not necessarily, because you're still on your own.
What business is it of yours how I travel?
My business is, why do you follow us? What are your intentions?
My intentions are my own, robed man. And he kind of rides the horse to the side. The horse is, you know, clearly picking up on his agitation and is getting a little, you know.
Oh yeah, let me check that out. Give me a second. I gotta look something.
Sure.
On my character sheet.
Mm.
I don't. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, cool.
Got a little something. I like that.
Mhm.
I can speak with animals.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Nice.
That's great.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
I can do that once a day, so I'm like fixing to tell the horse, just
Yeah.
chill. Everything's cool. Don't go nowhere.
Yeah. Who the hell's the guy riding you, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me
This
tell you about
asshole.
this guy.
Yeah.
Who is this fool?
Yeah. Let's see. What else do I want to do?
Unless you wish to taste my steel, stranger, I suggest you leave. Leave me alone.
Yeah. So that I think that's what I'm going to do. I think Amar is going to look at the horse,
Okay.
and he kind of stares. I mean, of course, Amar's eyes are,
Crocodile Dundee style.
and he stares into the depths of the blackness of the horse's eyes,
Yeah.
and he says, "Be calm, my hoofed friend."
Okay. What is your charisma modifier?
Hey, I don't have one.
Oh, sorry. What is your charisma score? Sorry.
It's a 12.
12. Okay. Give me a 2d 10 roll, please.
Oh, okay.
I do know how this guy's reacting to you, but I'm not sure how the horse is reacting to you just yet. And I will give you I'll modify that in a beneficial way to... Okay.
You told me to.
So this thing, its eyes kind of like in that you know, terrified horse kind of way. Its eyes get kind of wild and it rears back and he's, "Come, beast!" And he hits it with or whips it, I guess, with the reins to try and pull it back under control. And the horse kind of, you know, rears back and says, "You speak! You speak to me!"
Indeed. Be calm. All is well. I am most interested in the rider and your safety.
Safe. I wish the stable was warm.
Indeed.
There were oats.
Yes, it's very cold. Do you know the name of who bought you and brought you out here in the waste?
This guy looks at you and says, "Who are you talking to? What sorcery is this?"
I'm speaking to the one who is most intelligent.
So he kind of looks, you know, he's as he's going around, he kind of trots to the side. He looks back, and unfortunately, Amaguk, you can see his silhouette going along, and he looks at you and says, "Ambush!" And he's about to try and make a break for it. Did you want to drop into initiative, or are you going to let this guy go?
You guys got an idea? Preference? Because I mean, I can. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I can take this dude down.
I feel like you can.
Yeah, especially once Amagud gets up here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Maybe
that's
you
what I
could,
think I'm gonna
you
do.
could, like, you know, say something to the horse, like, you know, buck him.
Yeah, I could.
Right now, the horse seems more at,
Well, if the
seems
horse is
pretty
already
leery
agitated.
of Amar, yeah. It's not like
Yeah.
he controls the horse, it's that he's able
Right.
to
Yeah.
communicate with it.
Yeah.
I think my main thing is just to try and protect the horse to some extent.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you could capture the guy, that would be ideal.
Okay. So do we want to drop into initiative then?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So then first, let's do this, guys. Will, since you are the only one acting here, we're going to put the awesome responsibility of rolling initiative on your shoulders.
Okay.
And let's do this first. Go ahead and declare your actions. Remember, we're first phase, second phase.
So what's the distance
Phase,
there?
second
now?
You
phase,
said 50
prorated
feet.
move.
So now I can do a half move. So that's
Yeah.
25. So a full move would be the.
You could do a charge as well, right?
My
You
base
can run
move-
and move the full distance and charge in. Yes.
Yeah. So you could do a charge to get to cover the full 50, and then make an attack if you like.
I was fixed to say my base move is 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So-
you half of that normally, or you can run to get that full amount on one phase.
Yeah, and then you can only the downside is you only get a single attack then.
Yes.
So
Whew. You get +2 damage bonus, though you lose your dex bonus to your AC.
okay.
You guys are about close to a mile away, Malo, so maybe a bit of time before you get there.
That was for Amaguk.
Oh, for Amaguk, forgive me, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say,
I'm
optimistic,
Model's
though.
gonna start moving. I
You're
go
like a
15
team
feet,
player.
And
What's the range of sleep again?
it's like a half a mile, right?
We're ready, the artillery.
Just keep him there. It'll only be an hour and a half. Excellent. Okay, so then
Just need
let's
that grid
roll.
reference.
Let's initiatize here. Amar, I'll roll mine. Whew. You ready?
Oh yeah.
Beat my 1.
Mhm.
You can do it.
You let me down, dice.
What? Oh, I didn't put a space in there.
Mm.
There we go.
Oh, man.
How you like them apples?
So it goes in order of dexterity. Remind us again, Will, what is Amar's dexterity?
18.
He's up first, baby.
Sweet.
So what
He's
are you
always
doing?
goes first. All right. So this is just the first phase.
Yep, yep.
So he's going. Oh, I've got the wrong thing. So there's my. So he's going to do the
Copy of
move
Dungeon Grappling.
up to there.
Okay. That's okay. I know the rules well enough. All right. So now, are you hitting this guy, or are you trying to pull him off the horse, or what?
Let's see. Okay, so stirrups, legs. I think kind of what Amar is trying to do is he's doing that move up there and then springing
Okay.
up. And what he's really trying to do is loop the guy's head, neck
Yeah.
under his arm to kind of pull him down off.
Okay.
Does that
Go
make
ahead
sense?
and make an unarmed attack roll then, and we'll use that as a judge for your attack on his grappling AC.
Okay.
I don't have my copy here to hold up, but for those listening at home, we use Douglas Cole's really very cool dungeon grappling product for grappling in this.
Come on now. Yeah, don't worry about
Oh shit!
Ah, nice.
Okay, so yeah, let me. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna let this guy have a save, trying to avoid falling. Nope. So what does it look like as you drag this guy off the horse?
Oh yeah, yeah. Amar just, I mean, he moves in a manner that is completely belying of his size because he's a small guy.
Yeah.
But he sprints. I mean, you know, Usain Bolt's got nothing. Right up there, as he gets the horse, you see him coil and spring up into the air.
Yeah.
As he's coming through, he stretches out his right arm and locks it onto the neck of the traveler, and then
Yeah.
lets his momentum carry him down. Of course, Amar, as always, lands on his feet.
Yeah. Boom! This guy lands hard on his back, and I'll apply that damage that you rolled as non-lethal.
Yeah, that's-
And he, like the wind explodes out of his chest as he hits flat on the back. He's going to lose his actions for this turn. So if you want to knock this guy out or secure him, you'll be free to do that.
Yeah,
Before-
that's the goal now, is to secure this dude.
Okay, so then we will roll. He's dropped his sword,
Mm-hmm.
so he doesn't have anything. Why don't we do this? Go ahead and roll another attack on him,
Okay.
and let's see. Well, actually, first hold on. First roll
Okay.
initiative. Let's see who goes first, because he may draw a secondary weapon. Oh!
You
beat my 6.
I was going to say, okay. Come on, baby.
I must.
I
Okay.
didn't look.
All right. So then he is going to draw a dagger, and he's going to try and hit you with it. That would hit. Let me think here. His Thaco. Oh yeah. So someone had asked recently about like how hard it would be to do ascending AC. It's insanely easy to do in this game because of the way the fighting ability works in it.
Yep.
So let's see here. This would hit an AC of 7. Wait, hold on. He would hit. No, sorry. He would hit AC 3. Does that
Still
hit?
misses.
Misses. Awesome. Okay, so he tries to stab you, and you duck to the side. Go ahead and make your attack.
All right. So now.
Do you knock him out, or do you secure him?
Yeah, let's just knock him out right now.
Okay, so he swings at you wildly. You step back, and then a quick kick out, and this guy's knocked completely unconscious. The horse kind of trots off a little bit, and Amaguk comes kind of trotting up to the horse, and is like, shh, takes control of the horse, and you guys now have a hostage. So,
Two, actually.
this guy trussed up and across the horse. You can picture that. You guys in the vanguard. One of you guys. Let's see here. Who has the highest wisdom between Arter, Malo, and Kane?
Well,
My wisdom is only a 9. Yeah.
12. So
There you go.
Okay, so Arter, you sort of hit Kane on the side and said like, "Hey," and you gesture over, and what you guys see is Amar and Amaguk, kind of like at a trot, and with Amaguk leading this horse, and trussed on the top of this horse is a guy who's unconscious.
Kane's just chuckling. He's like, nice. He'll just grin at the company around, and sort of point over there to Marlowe. Have a look.
Yeah.
He laughs too.
So you see once
follow us.
Amaguk and Amar meets up with you guys. What do you do? What happens next?
I'll straight away be sort of like stood there with my hands on my hip, kind of like nodding, big grin.
Yeah.
I'll clap Amar on the shoulder. Yeah, well done. Very good. And congratulate Amaguk. I think I would have observed. I would have been sussing out what the kind of protocols are amongst those type of people. What they're, like the level of physical contact and all that type of stuff.
Yep.
To gauge what is the appropriate action.
So this is coming
Finding
from a place
myself
of
thrust into the leadership role.
This is from a place of complete ignorance on this, but I think it is a fairly touchy culture.
Yeah, based on the fact that rumour heard that wives and that get shared about on a fairly regular basis, so I imagine they're quite touchy-feely and not standoffish.
Yeah.
And in a cold place,
And
you want as much physical contact as possible.
For the sake of clarity, too, this is our fictional fantasy Inuit culture, too. This is not a comment on actual Inuit culture.
No, we've got no clue at all coming from, just outside of London. Crazy talk.
So, so he walks up, and the only thing he says is simply, "We caught him." And then he turns and kind of like leaves the horse with whoever takes the reins. He trots off to continue, about maybe like 50 feet ahead of you guys, or 60 feet ahead, keeping an eye out and trying to...
So can I offer him the horse? Like, do you want? Can he ride? I'll say, do you want this horse? You found him. Do you want this horse?
He looks back at you and says, I saw him from the horse. As if that says everything you need to know. And he turns and heads back out again.
Yeah, so like it's not a good idea to ride about on a horse type of thing.
Makes for an easier, a more prominent silhouette on the horizon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sounds like he's not into it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, what happens with this guy?
Well, I think we should just first of all check for any kind of identifying, clothing features, etc. Type of blade he might be, carrying that tells us anything about where he may have come from.
He looks like any number of sellswords that you guys met over the course of that week or so that you guys were trying to put together your group as well too.
Okay.
This is just yet another sellsword come from the mainland of Hyperborea to Thule, try and seek his fortune or stuff like that. There's no there's no
Does he look
sigil.
like? Sorry, does he look like one of them blowhards that we had the run-in with?
The second son.
The second says no. This guy, the Blasivarius, and his, ilk, or at least his immediate, cohort, they're all wearing the finest armor, beautiful shiny things. They've got pennants, they've got tabards.
Yeah.
This guy is, this guy is henchman, prime henchman quality here, or hireling quality, I should say, not henchman, because he likely has no class levels.
Okay.
So he is. Hold on, that's probably not true. He does have a spyglass on him, which is something that the average person could not afford, likely.
Yeah, that's pretty pricey.
If you were to guess, this is a scout of some kind. This is someone, So he can come to whenever you want, before whatever else is going to happen today happens.
Well, should
if something else happens.
Right. Should we consider potentially trying to make him part of our group? I mean, our options are kill him, try to send him away, in which case he may continue to follow us, or try to, keep him close.
Well, who do we think he is? Who do we think he could be?
So, surely, I mean, we're all thinking that he's a scout for the Second Sons, right? Since
That's my initial thoughts.
Oh, no. See, I'm thinking he's a Yithian in disguise. See, Kevin's made me completely paranoid now.
It could be anybody.
Yeah.
That's very possible.
He could also be totally legit. I would totally follow a big column of guys across the wilderness. That seems like a sensible idea.
Except where is he headed to, and
Yeah, if you need to travel, and I'm not sure why you would travel at all in Thule.
Yeah, I mean, we could potentially offer him more money than he's being paid by.
Always an option. Yeah.
Or just
He does have on him, so that, and then this may keep with, or in keeping with what a scout would have, but he also has what you would expect a lone hunter to have as well too. He's got a short bow, he's got some arrows on him, he's got the some rations, but he has he has the stuff necessary to survive out in the wilds as well. Whether
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I keep cutting into you today.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
With my fletching skill, Yeah, on Fletcher, it's secondary skill.
Yep.
Could I glean any information from the cut of his jib, as it were? So he's fit out with arrows and bow and that. Would that give me any little?
Yeah, no, that's first off, that is a fucking awesome use of a secondary skill, so you get a point of astonishing fortune for that. And I think what you can pick up from it is that these arrows are, the way that they are crafted is for hunting, not for war. This is not someone who has stuff that's, arrowheads that are designed to punch through plate or something like that. These are arrows that are designed to fell like small, small prey. From the things that you've encountered over, what you've encountered over the course of the weeks that you've been traveling across the wilds here, most of the prey, most of the things you would eat have been relatively small, right? It's things that haven't been undead at least. So this guy may very well be a
hunter scouty kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, we basically could, wake him up and interrogate him, see what we can find out, and then make a decision based on anything he might.
Does he have any actual rations on him, or just the gear?
However, they are iron rations.
Okay.
They're so.
So he's out for he's out for a long trip in his mind.
Yeah, or he has at least prepared for the eventuality that he would be without a regular source of food for a time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably about 2 weeks worth of iron rations in amongst his saddlebag.
And he had a sword as well.
He did, yeah.
What sort of sword?
No, nondescript. It's a regular sword, like a long sword,
Okay.
but it's nothing of particular interest in.
I've done it again.
No, that's okay. It's a sign that you should shut the fuck up more. So, yeah, he.
Yeah.
1 second, my door's ringing.
I'm a bugger for that, guys. I tell you, man. If I don't say what I think, I forget what I was going to say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know.
It gets worse the older you get.
So what do you think, guys? Just wake him up and start, interrogating him? We can have Kane, step on his hand or something to make him talk.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe we should just be kind of nice to him.
That was kind of part of my idea. Let's tie him up. Let's kind of keep him secured. But then just not by no means mistreat or heavily interrogate. At least not yet.
Who have we got that's quite good at sussing out people's intention and that? We could be nice and friendly, but is there one of our number that is more astute with regard to reading a person's intentions? I mean, is Marlo
not me.
a little... No.
I mean,
But,
I don't have great charisma.
Hjalmar-
I've got a good wisdom.
So Amar might, or Hjalmar is a cleric, so he might have a pretty good wisdom
that's
to
true.
be able to help us.
Yeah, perhaps we could get the cleric to have a chat with him and maybe... Because Kev would really like to do an NPC against NPC conversation because they're always such fun.
You're assuming I don't love the sound of my own voice. You've already had a hard time getting a word in edgewise. So.
We just bring up the cleric and sit back in our chairs and let the rest of the session play out.
All right, sweetie.
And it would be highly entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Because that is so hard, man. That is like the pits as a DM, man. I hate that.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is the plan? So I had to deal with the people looking for their daughter. So, is Olivia here? I'm like, no.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Kevin doesn't have any free time to commit any kind of insane abductions.
Commit would be the sound of like. I'm not sure that. I think Olivia is either in a lot of trouble or will be very soon.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I think the plan was, and correct me if I'm wrong, is we were going to wake him up and have Amar with the backup of our cleric kind of try to talk this guy and be nice to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Your experience with Hjalmar thus far has not been nice. Remember that Emir is
I
not...
think Hjalmar's kind of our, like silent but deadly type, watching over things, not the communicator.
Yeah.
He's the bad cop. We're going to do maybe the good cop, bad cop thing. And like Arlen says, he's our diviner of what's going on kind of thing.
Is there, like, mechanically, is there something that you're hoping that he can do, or...
Well, we were just thinking, since he probably has pretty good wisdom, that he may be able to kind of sense when the guy's lying or something like that better than the rest of us.
Yeah, get a read on the guy, sort of.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, I'm just going to close my office door. Hold on. That might... Get that down.
You tell him, Emmy.
Yeah. Good girl. Yeah. 1 second. Boy.
Oh man, I can see a fiend folio on the shelf.
Listen
there.
at home, make sure, Makes for a bit of background noise, but sure makes for a really effective deterrent for people snooping the place out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the same with your dog, right, George?
Literally, I'm looking at my dog and she's like sound asleep. Like, so.
What you want is like 3 armed children.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Seize him. Form square. Form square.
Oh,
Oh, and Emmy's making someone else's dog bark too. Sorry. I'm sorry,
That's
guys.
hilarious.
She gets very enthusiastic whenever people have the temerity to walk on her street. So the so Hjalmar will he'll have to bring him up from the main van there. So he comes. What do you explain to him as you bring him forward, or do you wait until you make camp to do this interrogation?
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's,
So tell me a little bit about the camp that you're keeping and how the watch is going to function.
That's interesting. I think that we'll probably have Diego, he probably has a system for his own people to have a watch, but then I think we should also, in addition, as per usual, have our own watch.
So
In addition.
some of your members, you had mentioned keeping people with what do you call it? Ranged weapons. You do have a pretty big complement of crossbowmen, of mounted crossbowmen. Now they're going to likely want to have the horses rest, so they're not going to be able to patrol the camp with that. But you could have people on foot who are fairly skilled with a crossbow, keeping an eye out. There's enough of you too, I think, that you could set basically like a perimeter of torches set out to keep good. You got enough people for you guys doing that when you were traveling just with yourself. That would have been a pain in the ass to be doing, But you've got men to spare at this point too. So like while some are setting up, what I will get you to do is go ahead and roll a percentile for me. George? You're back, which means you get to be Mr. Water.
Okay, here we go.
Monsieur Agua, or Senor Agua, I believe
Not bad.
they call you. Ooh, okay. Let's see here. So that was the morning. Ooh,
Just missed.
just missed. Go ahead and give me another one, please. The evening.
Nope.
No. Let's see if you found shelter. Give me a second. I need to get to my page on. Let's see here. There we go. Go ahead and give me a percentile. Who wants to be keeping an eye out for shelter? Who will be tasked with that?
let's see. I'll do that.
Okay.
Cool.
You need me to roll a percentage?
Percentage, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
You find a terrific natural shelter, so the entire camp will not be worried about being exposed to the elements or anything like that.
Nice.
So that is
Awesome.
great. Okay. Then, so you're able to maybe grab one of your tents, and that's where you sort of you wake this guy up, and Hjalmar will be in there with him. What do you explain to Hjalmar what you want out of this?
So just before we do that, just to be clear, Kev,
Yep.
our mercenary commander guy, we will give him the instructions to secure the camp, and
Yep.
I think he will be more than up to the task for dealing with that.
Okay. So Moretta is going to take care of that to set everyone up for the camp. You guys... Oh, man, I get to use another map now. Hot diggity damn. Let me quickly set that up.
He's got pushing on 100 fellas, isn't he? Really? So
Yeah, so there's a lot to track there, but that also means...
and he seems a pretty efficient sort of fella. So I feel, I'm confident.
That is...
And if he's rubbish, he'll find out all about it. in the morning.
Nice. Okay, let's do this here, guys, because, you know, who doesn't want a full camp worth of things here? Let's see. Awesome. Awesome, awesome.
If we had a bunch of wagons, they'd all be pulled up in a circle, wouldn't they?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then we could paint them.
Yeah, man. And what about that Pale Rider earlier, man? Jeez.
Okay, let's go in here. Oops, sorry, guys. Once we set these up, we won't have to do it again. When I say we, I mean me. And okay. All right. So sorry. So he's gonna be setting up the sort of the camp watch. What are you telling Yalmar when he comes in to talk to the prisoner? What is it that you want him to? Does he seek you know, ministrations for Ymir?
What do you think, guys?
I mean, it seemed like we were thinking that really we wanted him to be a backup and just kind of suss out whether this rider was trying to dissemble or telling the truth, with Amar kind of leading the discussion by, you know, being a good cop.
Okay.
And then if necessary...
So like tell him we spotted him following us. We don't know what he's up to. We don't want to be outright hostile. We just want him to keep an eye on him and give us his best sense of what this fella's intentions are by using his sort of vast wisdom and his you know, his divinations, whatever.
Okay.
Just keep an eye on things and explain that Amar, we don't want him to interject, or we'll put it in shorter words that he understands.
You don't want
no, just be quiet, just watch.
You want Yalmar to be quiet?
Yeah, stand with me. I'll stand with him, and I just want him to pay keen attention to what's going on. And when we finish talking, I want you to tell me what you think of what this guy's saying. Whether you think he speaks the truth, or whether he speaks with forked tongue.
He nods. And
Okay.
let me quickly take a peek at... Well, first of all, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to let you see this badass camp that we've got now.
Okay.
Cool.
Because this is... Check this out. Boom.
Oh, nice.
Oh. Ooh.
Now, they're buildings,
Cool.
but we're assuming that those are sort of like tents that are being used to house all you guys. So you guys can claim one of those as your own, and that's where
Wow.
our scene will be happening. I'm going to see if he has any sorcery that will assist. Anything from Ymir that will help you in your endeavor.
Well, I reckon we want that kind of a small one to leave room for the troops.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon?
Maybe
like,
one right, kind of one of those right in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Which one were you thinking? Maybe I can't do that. Right? Okay, let's get this sorted out. How do I do that pinging
ping?
thing?
So you have to be on the select arrow. So
Yeah.
over on the left, you can see the tools,
Yeah.
and then you just click and hold without moving the mouse.
Like that. There you go.
That was
Yes.
me.
Oh, that was you. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're-
Green.
The color code, yeah, it'll be color coded
Yeah.
to what you've got.
So right, you go over to the arrow. I know this is riveting viewing, folks. Go. So go over to the arrow.
Yeah.
Right. The arrow goes blue, and then it brings up a little menu saying select move or pan view.
Yeah, so be on select move.
Yeah. Well, click on that. Yeah.
Yeah, click on that.
Yeah.
and then it should be highlighted blue. And then just on the map, you click without dragging. If you drag, you'll create a selection box, but if you click and hold, it'll create the ping.
No, I'm not doing it right. I've done it before accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what you do is you just hold down your, pick a spot and just hold down your left mouse button.
Yeah.
There you go. I just saw it.
Did it work? No, that worked.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, it was a green one. It was a green one. You did it on that.
Oh, there you
cent
go.
In the middle.
I don't even know what I did. Oh, okay.
That's how
I'm
good
bad
you
at
are.
this. I'm bad at this.
He finally got his camera working, and now he can't ping stuff.
Right.
Oh, gee, I could paint the Mona Lisa easier than doing
Next.
this.
But that tent you picked out seems good to me.
So that, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That one.
Next year you can do the pinging.
Yeah.
This year was about the camera.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I've got the camera sorted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, you do.
But the crack with that is to go into Hangout first and bring it up on Hangouts and then go into
Mhm.
Roll.
How interesting.
Okay.
But that's why, anyway.
So
Yeah.
I'm putting some henchmen down here as well too, guys. So you've got some henchmen who are loitering around camp as well. Obviously, I'm not going to put all 80 people down here,
Yeah.
but just for the sake of having some of them, you should all have control over those tokens as well too.
Mm. Yep.
So you can go
Cool.
ahead and place them kind of where you will. I'm just going to put them around kind of an area here. Put some of these guys in their tent. All right, so let's pick up the scene. Oh, what tent are you guys in?
Colin, ping it.
Come on, bud.
This one.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and move yourselves up there. I'm just going to finish moving your henchmen here into their homes. All right. Okay. Good stuff. Okay, so guys, what I'm assuming you guys have them sort of secured in a or have him tied up in some kind of way. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and Yalmar is there, and he says, I will keep quiet. I will keep silent.
Good,
Until
good,
asked.
good. I'll give him something to drink, keep him occupied.
Past experience with Yalmar suggests
And
that
food.
that is the opposite of how to keep him quiet.
Okay, so give him some food, something to occupy him.
Food. The choicest bits, always for the commanders. Thus it has always been, and thus it should always be.
I just tap him on the back. Yeah.
So he says, go about your
Keep-
business.
Keep your eyes open. Keep them peeled.
I will keep both on him and on this food. And so you guys wake him up. The guy who, or the captive that you had, he sort of, he comes to, he looks out and kind of takes a quick measure of his surroundings. And let's see here. Let's get a starting reaction here. Who has the highest charisma? I think it's actually Kane, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is Kane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a 13.
Yeah. Which says
Yeah,
a
but I
lot
got
about the
a
group
9,
that
so.
13 is the highest.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Okay. Am I rolling then?
No, I got you covered. I wanted to set the initial reaction for this dude.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So, okay. So he comes to and kind of, all right, and then studies his surroundings. So you caught me. What now?
Give him a drink. Give him a nice beer or something.
Okay. So you have to. Yeah, I'm assuming you've secured his arms, or you're.
Yeah, no, I'm offering it. I'll
Okay.
tip it up for him to drink.
Okay, so he drinks. He sort of looks at it for a moment to sort
I'll
of.
have a sip out of it first. Like I know how this goes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah,
go,
he
there's
takes
nothing
a
wrong with it.
big, drinks all of it if it's offered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blub, 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 blub.
Yeah, go.
Tip it down.
And he looks up. And he gestures at Amar, and he says, "That one moves quick."
He does. So I like gesture with my head for Amar to come over and just like nod at him, smile,
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our friend Amar. Yes, he's very quick.
He looks. You haven't killed me.
No, why would we kill you?
Why would you not? Why would you take me?
Well, we've got a lot of responsibility here. There's an important mission we're on. We can't just have people randomly following behind us. But I'm sure you understand that. At the same time, we've no desire to go slaying people randomly who are just travelling around the countryside. I'm sure you can see our point.
Well, I mean no trouble. I mean no harm.
Mm-hmm. This is good. Well,
If you
that's
don't
good news.
want- If you don't want me following, you can release me. I'll go my own way.
Well, that's what I would regard as a threat to the mission.
I don't know anything about your mission.
No, you don't need to know anything about our mission. Our mission is our concern, and that is why, unfortunately, you may have made a minor error in following us. We need to move through this land without threat, and unfortunately,
He
you
looks around. Says,
lurking
"Clearly,
at the back.
I'm no threat. Look at what you're capable of. I'm just a hunter.
But my friend, we don't know what you're doing. You tell me what are you doing? You tell me what you're doing. Why are you behind us, lurking? Why didn't you announce yourself and come and share a drink and some food in our
I know how these
company?
things work. You come across my number in the and you press me into service. I've no interest in fighting your war. Amar, he's absolutely lying. You are 100% certain. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
So one of the things that turns to you, why on earth would this guy have his mind turned towards? There is not so many armies marching through Thule
Right.
that people are willy-nilly being pressed into service and there's conscription going on. This guy seems to be scrambling to come up with an excuse, and it may be an excuse coming from his direct experience. So he looks, he says, "I'm not going to cause trouble. I'll cause no trouble. Just let me go, I'll leave."
No. It's not as simple as that, my friend. You've already caused trouble. There are pushing on 100 in number of souls here. We've a responsibility for their safety, and unfortunately, your behavior is in some question. If you wish to travel on, you can travel along with us. We will ensure your safety as long as you are headed in our direction. But, well, to be quite frank, you will be headed in our direction. And you would be best to come to terms with that. Unless you can say something that is going to change my mind, you will be detained at our leisure and our convenience, and you'll be a comfortable stay. But I'm afraid we've come to the conclusion that we come to the decision that you can't just freely roam around at the rear of our group doing who knows what.
He kind of listens to your words very carefully and then just simply says, I'm a prisoner then.
You could say that.
You're an honored guest.
That would be a nicer spin
And you can
on it.
hear Yalmar sort of chirps in. He really can't help himself. It seems like he got into the beer a bit. That you have been honored with not a cold blade in your chest, rogue, spy, intriguer.
Okay.
He looks
right.
over at. He doesn't get up. Yalmar's still, shoveling
Yeah.
food in his gut, but he spares the thing, looking over, and then continues eating.
Yeah, so that don't bode well, does it? I look around the group. I mean, gents, fellows, what say you? I mean, I'm not happy to let this traveller skulk at our rear. I would lose sleep over this.
No,
Well,
he's
he-
lying.
And he hasn't even given us basic information like his name or his destination.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna step back now. For I fear I might recourse to violence. Perhaps Amar, you've more patience for this fellow.
Let's see. So what do we got him bound to the chair, right?
Yep.
All right. So I think that's what Amar's going to do. Amar's going to sit down in a chair directly across from him, and he's going to sit very close, where their knees are almost touching.
Okay.
Nice.
And Amar's going to lean in. You're not telling us the whole truth.
He looks at you, says, I don't know what you mean. I'm a hunter. I'm only a hunter. And Yalmar shouts out, Intriguer!
You're more than that. There's a reason that we found you. You can tell us and be treated fairly.
And what is fair?
Life, liberty, freedom. Or you cannot tell us and remain a captive, or worse.
And he seems to be listening to your words. And if freedom means, if the cost of freedom would rob me of it, what then?
Know this to be true. You will be treated fairly and justly, based on the truthfulness and sincerity that you profess.
He sort of looks over. He says, I've heard things about your cohort. They say
Yes.
that you lie with the beasts of the wild.
We have a much more liberal view of intelligence.
His eyes kind of
Not
get,
giving-
he's kind of like revulsed. He's like, it's true? You fuck those things?
No. They are our friends. They are people who have proven themselves to be honorable.
They're beasts. They're animals.
No.
At this point, I need to interject.
Yeah, King comes stomping back.
Kane, like whatever drink he had in his hand, he like boom, chucks it across the tent, rocks up straight in the guy's grill, like. Say, you, my friend, if you don't want to part company with your liver, you need to calm yourself down and listen to my friend. But it's gonna be.
Okay, so he's. I think Kane with one hand has him like leaned back in the chair, so he's holding him up, and kind of screaming, and brings him up and lets the chair sit back down again.
It's good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he just like adjusts his clothes, calmly pours himself another drink.
Yeah.
And then steps back, arms crossed in the background.
He looks at you, back at you, Omar, and then kind of warily watches as Kane stomps away. He says, I was paid.
You were paid what?
To
By
track.
whom?
I was paid to track you.
And then?
And report back.
Aha.
Report back for when they have plans for you. That's all I know.
Who is they?
One of those spoiled knights. Same type.
So, do I feel this is truth, Kevin?
Yeah. Yeah. The threat of bodily violence from Kane. You also get the sense that this guy did genuinely believe that stuff about you guys laying with the beasts. That apparently might be a story going around about you guys.
Wow.
Well, actually, I don't lay with anyone, so there you go. The moot point.
I certainly don't lay with lions and tigers and bears.
Oh my.
Yeah, and you get I think you can guess who's spreading that rumor.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Arter's gonna just mouth the word Arcadius and make kind of a jerk-off motion towards
Yeah.
I'll use my move a coin action to... Okay, so he sort of looks up at you all and says, if you pay me, I'll leave. But I can't find work again. If he finds that I've abandoned this, they'll kill me.
I just looked at Amar. What? Tell him, come along with us and blow that fool out.
He, recognizing what the response elicits, he doesn't bring up the bestiality thing again, but he does look back and forth, and he says, then you'll let me go.
No.
I'll be... Am I a prisoner? Or...
Your job is to go and report back. If we let you go, then you will just go and report back. Why would we do that?
Let me put it to you this way. If you go and report back that you really have nothing to report because your skills were so inept, you were easily taken down by one man on foot. At worst, or at best, you'll be laughed out of town. At worst, you'll be dead.
He looks... It seems that your words are persuading him. He's looking back and forth and sort of realizing the the state that he's in, or at least the options or the choices before him.
Mm-hmm.
He says it was them. I don't know the particulars. but they know where you go, or your destination, and they intend something. They intend to
what?
set upon you.
Aha.
I don't know, but I'm certain that they will have more outriders.
Okay.
I know that they hired more than you.
Well, they'd need more. They'd need more. That's understandable.
More and better.
They, it would be a real son of a bitch DM that would be use the mercenary companies that you guys created against you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
They're all you killed them all.
Man, that's so cool that we hired like the biggest one.
Guthbrand's Goodman were numbered. Oh, they actually, yeah, you did hire the biggest one.
Yeah.
I'm looking
yeah,
at
Goosebrand's
costs.
only
That's right.
like
Yeah,
30
yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
But there are 4 companies, and we only hired. No, there are 5 companies, right? And we only hired 1.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there was 5 in total, so there are 4 that were not hired. Yeah. So,
Good thing we got them artillerists and we take them out of range. Woo!
so guys, as you're you step back, you suddenly hear the sound of a bunch of men screaming. Ah! Ah! And you hear something else that sounds like a weird mix of like falling logs or like rattling bits of wood and a loud hissing.
We need to go see what that is.
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, let's step out of the tent and see what
guys.
we see.
So go ahead and step yourself out of the tent. The sound comes from over here, from the far side of the tent. So you guys step out. Archer, as you step out, you turn to your right, and you are horrified by what you see. Standing on seemingly numberless legs is perhaps the largest insect you have seen. And standing at its apex, about 12 and a half feet tall, and smashed into this tent over here, guys, is this.
Oof.
That's good.
And you can hear the screams from within. And that is how big it is.
Oof.
Somehow this thing has snuck past the watch and is seemingly making a meal of the henchmen within. Guys, we'll find out what happens next in 2 weeks' time.
Screw you, Musa!
It's like the opposite of the I think it was Dashiell Hammett that said, you know, whenever there was a lull, have 2 people bust into the room with guns.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin's the other way around. He has the 2 people bust into guns, and then he stops.
Yes. All right, so we'll find out what happens with this multi-legged horror in 2 weeks' time. So, awesome, guys. XP first before I launch into the spiel. Let's remember what game we're playing here. If everyone could put in chat how many points of Astonishing Swordsmen they have left here.
I believe I have just the one.
Okay, 4. Who am I missing here?
Mate, you're missing me.
You got 2, I think, or is that right?
Yeah, two.
points,
Save
okay.
me writing it.
So
Yeah,
2, 4,
buttons
5,
and
6,
all that.
6. Nice. Okay. Okay. All right. And, let's see here. You went 1... Oh, you didn't uncover a new hex, so you don't get any XP for that. You did defeat this guy and find some stuff out, so I'll give you some XP for that. Which means... Let's see here. There are 4 of you. 4 times 1.1. Whew, guys. You may want to consider retiring after this one. Because you get a whopping 165 XP for today.
Try not to spend it all in one place.
Yeah.
That with bonus or not?
That is with the bonus. That includes your high prime requisite bonus as well, too. So, awesome. So then, for those listening at home, thank you so much for joining us for session 21 of the Reavers of Thule campaign. Wow, as is tradition for this campaign, we are back into the wilds, and things have gotten dangerous and interesting and intriguing, both literally and figuratively, right as soon as we step out into the wilds. As always, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding the session, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section of the video. If you want to shower praise on the clever plans and the great role-playing on the part of the players, please feel free to do the same, and I will pass that along to them. In addition, you can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can also reach me by email. My email address is dungeonmusings@gmail.com. And you can find a link to the Dungeon Musings Discord server in the description of this video, where you can find us chatting about this game, all the other games that we have on the channel, as well as a really active Looking for Group channel, and a bunch of other stuff. We've got Dungeon Dogs if you want to just drink in a bunch of pictures of dogs and cats. In addition to that may be leaning more towards your friendly dungeon master's interests, but I will never reach the day when I've seen enough pictures of dogs. So, in addition, so if you enjoyed the session, and you don't want to miss the next one, I would encourage you to consider clicking on subscribe and the bell icon so you'll be notified when we're playing. You can also track when we're playing in the community tab of the YouTube channel. And if you enjoyed the session, I encourage you to click on like, because that will help us with our, I don't know, whatever the magic arcane things behind the scenes on YouTube do. In addition, if you want to pick up a copy of Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea yourself from Northwind Publishing or from DriveThru RPG, you've got links very easily in there. None of it kicks back to us. That's just an easy way to get a really, really great game. In addition, the final link you'll find in the description of the video is to something called Heroes Save Villages, and that is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. It is all to benefit the SOS Children's Villages International charity. It is a charity that is active in over 130 countries that benefits over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children by providing them a stable and supportive environment in which to grow up and to play and to really have an opportunity to be children when they wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity to do so. You can learn all about the villages that they build and the types of initiatives, the advocacy initiatives that SOS Children's Villages International is involved in by following through in the link, and any donations go 100% to SOS Children's Villages International. None of it goes to the channel, none of it goes to the any middleman or anything like that. So it's a really terrific opportunity. If you are inclined to toss some gold pieces in the direction of the channel, or even copper pieces, that would be a really the way I would encourage you to do so, or at least to consider doing so. I don't want anyone to feel obliged, of course, but if you are inclined, that's the direction I would go. And I'm happy to say I've got a pretty big announcement coming next week. If you're listening to us live, we have some pretty big news as far as the charity initiatives go coming very, very soon. I won't be able to share that until sometime around mid or late next week, but once all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed, be sure to check back, because there will be another opportunity to get to engage in that charity in a pretty fucking cool way. But I'll save that for another video. Last but not least, I want to thank my players. Guys, 21 sessions. scrambling your way, trying to get back to Tolevorg, and then you turn around and head right back out again and find yourself, find it waiting for you as you left it. So, Arlen, George, Colin, and Will, thank you so much for joining me on another Saturday morning for this. I had so much fun getting back into the wilds of Thule.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah,
It's
man.
fun.
Awesome. So, and again, for those who joined us in chat, thanks so much, guys, for for joining us in chat as well too. I'm sorry for normally when we take our break, we go back and I check in with the chat, but we actually started late today because we were chatting too much. So, my apologies for not checking in. If there are any questions about the game or the setting, I will answer those when I go back through I'll answer them in the description of the video afterwards once I've gone through those things. But all of that aside, let me just say a last very big thank you to anyone who joined us for this final session 21 of this campaign. We are, at the time of recording, getting very close to approaching our anniversary with this one, so that's going to be pretty exciting.
Cool. Yeah.
But until next time, thank you again for watching, folks, and until we see you back in the wastes of Thule, happy gaming.